سيد الأولين والآخرين محمد
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يقول الحق سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الحكيم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as is worthy to be praised. We thank Him, we revere Him, we seek His help, and we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from our bad deeds and bad intentions. Whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, there is no one to lead astray. And for those who are misguided, there is no one to lead to a straight path. And we bear witness and testify that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. And Muhammad is His final prophet and messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, O mankind, all human beings, fear your Lord and love Him and be mindful of Him at all times. As He created you from a single soul, and from that soul He created its mate. And from that original couple He created many men and women. And fear your Lord and love Him equally, and be aware of His presence at all times, by the womb relation that bore you, and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully acquainted with all of your actions. Just a quick reminder for our young men and young daughters, to please, when the khutbah is on, it is the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ just to listen attentively. Try not to move, try not to speak to your friend, try not to fix your shirt or pants or anything. Just pay attention for a little bit. The khutbah inshallah will be very brief, and the point will be very inshallah concise and succinct. And the talk today is a forward to stand here today and tell you tomorrow or the day after there is a great event, but you must be prepared for it so you could gain all of the benefits of that day. You must be fit. You must be ready. You must be prepared to acquire all of that it takes for that day. It is a strenuous day. It will require a great deal of effort and energy from you. So you need to do some preparation today, tomorrow, so you could get the day after fully equipped and fully ready for that day. We are now 2 months or less shy of the beginning of Ramadan. We are in the month of Rajab. And the month of Ramadan, as we all know, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed the fast for us as He prescribed it for people before us. So it's a continuation of a message, so we may gain the highest level of taqwa. Taqwa is we're fully aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's presence with us at all times. And we are in highest level of hope of His mercy, and we are worried that we would not attain His mercy. I'll break it down for my young men and young ladies here in the audience today. If you were to pass a test, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that you want to achieve the A. Passing grade, you'll make the principal's list, and you'll become the valedictorian, and you have bragging rights in your family for a long time to come. And you will sign up for the best universities, get the best diplomas, and get the best jobs so you could have the best money. But that is one side of the coin. The flip side of the coin, what you are afraid of, is for you not to study hard, for you not to achieve your academic goals, and unfortunately sometimes if we don't do that, we know what the result is. Is the letter what my name starts with? F. And we are constantly balancing these two acts. We work hard and we remind ourselves, yes, I want to play, I want to be with my friends, I want to spend time with my family. This is blessed weather, this is nice weather, I want to be outside. But at the same time, you remind yourself that tomorrow you have a test. You remind yourself that what is important for you to play and have a good time, or for you to study hard because you want to achieve your objective. And the reason we're talking about Rajab today is for all of us to set up one objective that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed for us and mentions it in the Quran, where He clearly says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Something we hear all the time. Verily, I have not created the humans and the jinns for the exception of worship. And by the way, my young brothers and sisters, studying hard is part of the ibadah. It's part of the worship. Listening to your parents is part of the worship. Making your salah is also part of the worship. Keeping your clothes clean is part of the worship. Brushing your teeth at night is part of the worship. Watching what you say is the absolute part of the worship. Not backbiting is also part of the worship. Of course, when we say do certain things, we are staying away from not doing other things. So Ramadan, brothers and sisters, as this beautiful is approaching, and we all know that the reward of Ramadan is an open gate of paradise, where we could enter from it and it alone, or any other gate of paradise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us with. But it is called the gate of Ar-Rayyan. And I would like to share with all of you. Sometimes we hear paradise, but sometimes we don't know and we can't put it in context. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, giving glad tidings to all the believers. وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٌ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأُتُوا بِهِ مُتَشَابِهًا وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Brothers and sisters, I would like your attention just to decipher part of what is in paradise. We know what we have to do when we believe. We have to follow through the actions. That's part that we have to fulfill. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, that He will grant us a place where we like what we see in it. Gardens. And gardens are made usually of that green soothing color. And for the young students, green is at the center of the spectrum. Red, orange, yellow, and then green, blue, indigo, and violet. It is the most soothing color to the eye. And it is proven by scientific research that for a person to be soothed, put them in a green environment. You'll find them totally relaxed. So Allah is securing for us something that we will see that is most soothing to us. Under which rivers will flow to keep that trickle of water. Again, that trickle of water, you find it even in places where they advertise it, we have the sound of remedy or remedy of pleasure or whatever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assure that that greenery will last forever. And that trickle of water will soothe our ear. So we will see good things, we will hear good things. And fruits in it, we may have tasted something like them in similitude. Something similar. And by the way, all the foods and all the enjoyments that we have in this life last about no more than 5 seconds. The time we have them on our palate, in our mouth. The rest, we can't even want to see it. It could be the most desirable of dish. 5 seconds and it's over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in paradise, this taste of enjoyment will last forever. And there are some narrations that say the fruits of them are sweeter than honey and softer than butter. And in this space, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the best of spouses, the best company. I urge you to ask ourselves this question. What are the 4 things that we work very hard on in this life? Is it not to see good things? Is it not to hear good things? Is it not to taste good food? Is it not to be in the company of good people? So Allah is giving us a small taste of it in this life, so He will secure for us in the hereafter a long-lasting one. And He concludes the ayah by saying, وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And in this pleasurable life, they will reside for it in eternity. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ويا فوز المستغفرين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. I advise you and myself to have taqwa in Allah, to fear Him, love Him, and be mindful of Him at all times. As we know, we are entering Ramadan this year, inshallah, toward the latter part of June, when the days are the longest. So I advise myself and you, since we know that sometimes shaitan could play with our mind and say, you know, you're in an age of not knowing whether you're going to fast or not fast, you could still get some grace from your parents. I advise you to probably take on the challenge. If you are close to that age, take on the challenge and say, yes, I will fast, inshallah. And in preparation of that fast, I will start fasting today, or this week, or next week, whenever it does not conflict with your studies. I don't want to be misunderstood here. Just drop the books and just fast. Don't concentrate on your studies. No, it has to be done in a balance. Maybe in the school you would want to advise yourselves, for the brothers who are old enough, to say, next Monday is fast day. We will all fast, inshallah, al-alameen. We'll make our dhikr in school, and we'll feel the taste of Ramadan before Ramadan is coming. And by the way, this is advice not just to my very young brothers, but to my younger brother as well, and sisters. Let us all start fasting. What is it that we're missing? The food will be there when we break fast. Let us get in preparation for this most beautiful month, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala multiplies the reward by multiples we can't even conceive. Where in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, all of the actions, they are known what the reward is. The salah is 10 times. If you pray in congregation, it's 27. If you do sadaqah, it's 10 times. If you do this, it's known what will be the multiple of that action. He said, except for Ramadan, and I will reward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward for it. So it will be based on how excellent of a product you deliver in Ramadan. Of fast, of prayers, of reading Quran, of controlling our tongues. And for my older brothers and sisters, of how much charity we give. And also for the young men and women. Charity, sometimes it is by you helping your parents in the home, by you being kind to your siblings, by you cleaning your place when you come to the masjid, by making sure we don't waste water. And I advise my older brothers and sisters, as Ramadan is approaching, and it is a moment of reflection, a moment of drawing back the tape from last year and say, what are the things I am most proud of? and what are the things I am least proud of? And we all have those two components of the list. There is no one on the face of the planet today that will say, I only have great things and I don't have any bad things. And sometimes the bad things could be, we read Quran but we don't read enough. We do salah but we don't do it enough. We give charity but we're not given enough. We are kind but we're not kind to all of the people. We pay attention to the environment but we take showers for 5 hours. So this is a moment of reflection, a moment of retuning ourselves, a moment of feeling a sense of responsibility, sense of goal setting, and a sense of checking off, I achieved my goal, or what could I do to achieve it? And for my young man in the audience and young sisters, there is no harm for you to seek help from your elders, your parents, your teachers, your older brother, or people here in the masjid. And you could tell them, I want to enter this Ramadan in the best of ways. What are the means and avenues I could seek? What should I do now? I am doing this without confessing. We don't believe in one-on-one confession. But we believe in seeking help from each other. You go to your sheikh and you say, Sheikh, I pray but I don't feel the khushu'. What is that something I can do? And the sheikh will give you the remedy of improving yourself. And I'm not just talking to my younger brothers and sisters, because we, the old generation, we are equally responsible to set up a preparation remedy for the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is coming. And Ramadan will be beautiful as we know it. So this is the time we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He blesses us by us achieving Ramadan. And by us doing the fast in the best of ways. And by us preparing ourselves in the most honorable of ways. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, and to strengthen us, and to shower us with His mercy, and to forgive our parents, and to forgive our teachers, and to bless our siblings, and to bless our institutions and our masajid and our mashayikh. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا واهدنا وتب علينا وتجاوز عن سيئاتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم بلغنا رمضان، اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم اغفر لنا ولآبائنا ولأمهاتنا ولكل من له الحق علينا. اللهم اغفر لنا ولأهلينا. اللهم ارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين وتب علينا فإنه لا يتوب على أحد منا إلا أنت. اللهم افتح لنا أبواب جنانك. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا. اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا أعنتنا على قضائها يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وارض اللهم عن ساداتنا أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن التابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.
سيد الأولين والآخرين محمد